You know that song?
Everything is a song, Bisha.
Everything is a song. Life is a song. Life is a soundtrack. And if you don't think that, if you don't believe that, bless your heart.
Like, one of those motivational speaker people on.
Because I am a motivational speaker. And you know what I'm saying? Like, everything is a soundtrack. Life is a soundtrack. You get up every day to the beat of a soundtrack. Because you know what? You ain't have to get up. Now, when you don't get up, the soundtrack over. You know what your song gonna be? I don't either. But that's when the soundtrack ends. How about that?
It's gonna be like I Should Wear a Crown or something like that.
Oh, Walk Around Heaven. Walk around. Don't let them sing that at my funeral. Don't let them sing that at my funeral at all. I'm probably not going to be walking around heaven.
I would hope so.
I hope so, but the way it's looking, you know, I might be in between. But don't let them sing that song. That's the song they sing for everybody, and I don't want that song. You know my song. What's my song? I need to do the intro for you. Yeah, I want you to. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna go ahead on and let you hit it right quick, like, cause this what they got to do at my funeral. I don't want that walk around heaven. I don't want them to sing that song with the ABCs in it with Abraham barbecue. I don't want none of that. This what my intro when y'all in my outro when y'all getting ready to take my little ashes on and do the ashes the dust thingy with my. Yes, I do. Cremate me. Now my children got to use that insurance money. Anybody got time to have no whole orchestrated event for strangers and run my money? Like,
She
give
wants
my
a
children
celebration of life.
I want a celebration of life. And this how they gonna kick it off. How they gonna kick it off? Wait a minute. Where you at, Kaidy? Where you at? You know what to do?
Oh my god.
We starting from the right or the left? Right or the left?
That way.
The left. And 1. And 2. And you got to put the shoulders in it. You know what I mean? You got to move.
You know,
when you do it.
I'm not like that.
And I don't know who y'all going to let carry the urn.
It's not me.
But this is how y'all coming in. And this how y'all going out. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole funky time situation for me, baby. I ain't sad. I ain't going to be sad. I ain't going to even be here. I'm going to be some dust. Some little bit of piece of dust. And then you got to keep. Now, what I want you to do, because I think I'm going to switch it up. Because y'all were going in like that. But I think I'm going to switch it up where I want y'all to just shuffle like this.
No, I'm not doing that.
You ain't gonna do that? So
when I spread your ashes, I'm gonna put some in my animal's food bowl. So you can live with them forever. Because I feel like you're gonna like the next animal.
Oh, you almost caught me slipping, friend. Wait, back it up. So you said you gonna. You said you're going to put my ashes in your dog food?
Well, not his. He's going to be dead, too. So I'm going to put it in another. If I said him, I'm saying you're going to die in like 12 years. But I only got a couple years left. Maybe 10. Maybe 9. So I had to say I'm going to do it to my other future.
Why is the dogs eat me? You going to eat a little bit of me, too?
No,
so I can be with you forever?
That. No. You're going to be with me. I'm going to carry maybe a little heart.
Yeah, I think I want y'all to make like a little something to put a little necklace on. I done talked to my friend that's in Albany, that she the female crematory lady down there. She already know y'all coming about me. So we got that hooked up.
You want to be cremated in Albany?
Where else I'm going to be cremated at?
Wherever you die?
Well, I want to go to her. She my friend. We went to school together. Miss Molden. We went to school together. I want to go to her. I think she know how to take care of me.
Miss who?
Make y'all some
Miss Mosby.
Molden.
Molden.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then and then the rest of my ashes take me to Bahamas and put me out in the water.
I'll see. Might put you in the Florida Keys and call it a day.
I would know if I'm in the Florida Keys versus the Bahamas. Don't pimp me, cause I'll come back for you. Take me to the Bahamas. Take me where I asked to go. You spending my money at that point. Or either I let y'all go and have a concert, a whole funeral. Because that's all they be like. What's the purpose of funeral? Okay, we going to get into this. we going to count down and get into what we're doing.
Oh, after Pastor Kate, stop yawning.
Ain't no yawning. Sleep is for suckers.
You go to sleep every night?
I'm a sucker. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in again. Welcome to the Listen Mom podcast, where I am your super fabulous host, Bisha. And you know what I was finna say, Kay? You ever heard of
So in today's episode, before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to Aaron Edwards, my uncle. He did the music that y'all hear when y'all first tune in. So shout out to him.
There's some haters in this house, baby, because I was giving you a word. But anyways, we're going to also shout out Miss Jonita Daniels of Tresca's Treasure for our beautiful mugs. Mine says Bisha, hers says Kaden, and our keychains. Get at her, Miss Daniels, Albany, Georgia, Tresca's Treasure. She is a pure crafter and can make anything and does make anything, and we appreciate this gift that came from her.
Yes. Then I would like to thank Suede 3 Mix God.
Suede 3 Mix God.
He made us a remix to some of the things we said in this podcast. So go tune in to his Instagram for that.
Thank everybody that saw that, and even the inquiring minds that tuned in. We appreciate you. I want to thank our production team, Tri Media Soul, Jason Bowie, and his lovely wife, Courtney, because she allows me to be crazy with Jason. So we appreciate that. And
family and friends, thank y'all for tuning in and watching and supporting us.
Family, friends, and fans. We appreciate all of you guys.
Not fans, supporters.
What's the difference?
Fan is like, oh yeah, you're like acknowledging they follow you. Supporters, like, what they give is, it's a difference. Y'all are supporters.
So, we'll talk about that later.
Supporters has a positive connotation. Fan gives, oh, you're a fan,
like fangirl.
Yeah, like you're giving fan. That just sounds bad.
A fan sound. Why y'all changing up all our words though, friend? Why does fan sound bad?
Fans just sound bad. Like it's like you're fiending to follow somebody. Now supporters, like you're offering your support. It gives them more control of like the support they're offering instead of making us sound like just these. I
guess. Oh, but check out these shirts though, made by Miss Linder's baby. She won the Black History Target Black History. Miss Linder, shout out to you, little girl, young lady. Fabulous shirts. Black History Month they were sold in Target, and we are repping them. And your mom is my hometown friend, so Keisha Linder, shout out to you, girl. All right, so we're gonna jump right into our Ask Me Anything. I think I could be Luther. You heard that Luther Vandross song? Say, whoa. No. Okay, ask me anything. You love to hear me sing, but anyway, ask me anything. I'll jump into it. This is what we get to ask each other. Anything we want to ask each other, and we have to answer it. Got to be ready for the answer, though. So, Kaden, let's see what I want to ask you, girl. Is there anything you would change about your life in these little bit of 16 years you've been here, child?
If I could change, like, my whole, situation.
What situation?
Okay. If I could change something, I would have made me rich and famous when I was, 10. So then I could have all this money from when I was famous,
So basically what you're saying is you wouldn't have got frustrated when I was taking you back to them casting calls and them modeling agencies and stuff like that, and you'd have hung in like I asked you to, and you would have had money for this household.
It always flips and
it's going to flip, my nigga. You want to change something that we already had the path set for.
Anyways, I would just change my status. I'd be rich and famous.
I think we would all do that then. So, okay. That ain't really... You're going to be rich and famous, girl. You rich and famous. Your cute self. What's your question, girl?
My question, since we're talking about religion today, is, did you ever imagine that I pursue God as seriously as I have?
Did I ever imagine that you would pursue God as hard as you have?
Just from, when I first started going to church, going to sleep in the church and everything. To when I first started showing more interest and when I, gave my life to Christ.
I wouldn't say I didn't. I imagined it, but not at this age. I think you're way ahead of the curve when it comes down to acknowledging who God is and being as serious about your faith as you are. But then being that your grandma Agnes is your best friend, you know, sanctified soul sister, I probably couldn't expect nothing less, but I didn't imagine it would be this early. That's I think I answered.
Like, could you imagine me being this serious about it?
No. I don't think I really find it like intriguing that somebody your age is this serious about their religion and they belief in God and your faith. Like I really do.
Very seriously.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I like it, but yeah, I didn't think so. So, jumping into it, like you said, we're gonna talk about religion and jumping off of that, based on you saying, you know, how you take religion seriously at your age, sweet 16. Prettiest girl in the world at 16. Look at her. When I see your face, there's not a thing that. Oh, you want me to go? Okay. What is religion to you? What is religion to you?
Religion, to me, is like a relationship. I'm gonna say broad. The broad answer is like a relationship you have with a higher power. Now, my religion to me is a relationship with God, the one and only God. And I feel like it's just getting to know your creator. That's what religion is to me.
Okay. Getting to know your creator. So how does it play a part in your daily life? Especially like we just said with you being so young and a teenager. I know in our previous episode, our pilot episode, you can go back and watch where Kaidy expressed how she found God at, 13. Well, God was never lost, but how she approached that situation at 13 and came to her own into her own relationship with God. So being that, that happened and you're so young, how does it play a part in your daily life?
So I found God like for myself.
Yeah.
When I was like 12 or 13, I was in my room and I just started crying about all these things I've been convicted about. And then I said right then and there, like, God, like, you died for my sins, you're my Savior, I gave my life to Christ. So I think it plays a huge part in my daily life. Like, when you're around God, like when you have God with you and you like trust in God and you believe in God, He gives you what is called conviction. Conviction is when, like, I can give an example. Conviction is like, say you're about to do something and it's something inside you saying no, like no. It's that voice, and you have to know when it's from God or when it's from not from God, but you're gonna learn that. But so I get conviction all the time about things that I might be thinking about doing or things I want to do, and it's actually kept me from doing a lot of the things that I have not done that normal teens do because I have this conviction.
With that conviction, like being in school and seeing a whole lot of stuff and different things taking place, and I know I had a mom to reach out to me that wanted me to ask you and address homosexuality at such a young age and what's going on in you guys' school. Sometimes I feel like conviction we can be convicted, but then it's like, do you judge other people? Like, how do you look at other people and teens and children your age that maybe not here and then don't know about it, maybe dibbling and being homosexual or doing drugs, at the extreme or whatever it may be that they're doing. How do you deal with those people?
Like, coming to that, so in the Bible, there are times they were living in, people weren't doing this. So it was way easier for them not to judge, say anything. Like, in my generation, like, it's way more stuff going on. But for me personally, I just had to tell myself, that's none of my business. That has nothing to do with me. So, like, if someone does want to partake in, like, drugs, someone's, like, exploring sexuality, like, girls and girls, boys and boys, different stuff like that. At the end of the day, what does that have to do with me? Nothing. So, I just mind my own.
But would you be friends with those people?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have, like, friends with, like, everything, gay, all this extra stuff. Like, it don't matter to me. Like, you really have to separate the person and the sin. They're not the same. Like, so before you judge someone, really look at yourself, because you probably lied this morning. Mm. So you're sinning, they're sinning, same thing. Like, it's God's convicting both of y'all. So really look at the person, because the sin, you shouldn't be worried about that. Let God handle that.
Got it. So, how do you feel your parents' approach or introducing you to religion, like as parents and myself? How do you feel that approach went as far as how we introduced you to religion or allowed you to come up with your own take on it and things like that? Did we handle it right or?
I think y'all, forcing me to go to church was a good idea. I didn't like it, no, and most days I didn't want to go, but it made me it had created a foundation in Christ so that when I did later want to go pick it up, I was like, okay, I want to explore this. Like, my parents took me to church, I was there, and I feel like I can learn a few things. So that's when I gave my life to Christ. Before that, I hated going to church. It was very boring. I went to sleep, and I still be going to sleep sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But now, after I got saved for my own self, I started actually being interested in going, listening. Now, they need to turn that AC down because I be too cold and I be going to sleep. But when that AC is down, I can truly focus on what they're talking about, and I really grasp it for myself because I have my own relationship with God. So I'm glad that my parents took me to church and stuff like that.
Okay, then. Well, what is some advice you would give young adults your age as it pertains to religion and thought of religion, relationship with Christ? I know we use the word religion, but just your own personal relationship, like you say, with the Creator. Somebody your age that wouldn't understand it, because like we say, you a rare breed to be 16, just turned 16, and you are that informed and making those decisions about how you choose to live your life. What if it's a teen that's struggling, going back and forth, and think that it's not cool to be like you are? Like, do you be preaching to the kids at school?
I don't preach to the kids at school, but I do when I give advice to other people, I try to keep my religion in mind. Because you know how someone in school may ask, like your kid, or if you're a kid watching this, someone in school may ask you advice about their situation, and you could give your worldly advice, encouraging them to do something that you know is not good, or you could be like, I wouldn't do this, and this is why. I feel like it really comes down to that. So, and also, being a Christian isn't cool in the world we're in, but it's you shouldn't care. I feel like you should be your own person, do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, none of these people are going to know you in high school in 5 years. You really shouldn't care that much. And if you're thinking about God, following God, if you're thinking about getting into it, go to a church. And if you're not ready to go to church or read your Bible, it's a lot of godly TikToks on TikTok. Start getting on that. It's anything helps. Pray. So it's multiple things. And make sure it's your decision. Don't let your friends influence you.
Okay. All right, girl. If I was your friend in school, I probably, I would have been a little bit better, honey. You a good little old friend to have. So I would say, my perspective, we have been church hopping. So if you're following us on social media, you see that we go and we visit these different churches, mostly non-denominational, multicultural churches, more diverse is what we've been doing. And I do have to say thank you, because I do enjoy the experience. I did not think that I would have enjoyed this experience coming from, Pentecostal background, and church is all you know, and you got to have some kind of feeling of movement and stuff going on. I just wouldn't have thought that I would enjoy these places that we have been going to, but I really, really, really enjoyed them. I tell you, even the most recent one, just the ability to just sit in church. It's no pomps and circumstance. It's 60 minutes in and out. It's not about the time. I know people say you can't control the Holy Ghost. Where I'm from, you can't control the Holy Ghost. So if the Holy Ghost, hit you, then we in church all day and we're going to let the Spirit run out. But what I've taken away from these experiences, I learn more, because it's more settling. It's more quiet. It's like a lecturing, a teaching experience. Like I'm in a course, like I'm learning the Bible. And we've been to 4 different ones, and they all are on the same style. It's no, hooping and no, I don't have time to pick them up and put them down, because, it's 3 worship songs, and then it's announcements, and then it's the word. I think the most important thing I've come to like is that their prayer set up for all of them, 4 different churches, 4 different pastors around the city of Houston. The prayer setup caught my attention, because they hold prayer after service. Like they do the benediction, and then it's if you want prayer, you can come. So people are walking out. They're not knowing that I'm up at the altar, like battling whatever it is I'm battling and crying, and can judge me and look at me differently. And I'm not saying that is what the other churches use it for, to use that time to have people judge people, but it's very time saving for one, and it allows the person to have that. They don't rush them. You know, if you got to lay out and cry for a while, it's after church, everybody gone. You're not trying to cut it off to preach, or cut it off to move to the next thing, and then you're not seeing. If you go every Sunday, you're not feeling like, oh, I just went last Sunday and all these people saw me go. And then the other thing was how they handle the money situation. Like, I believe in tithe and offering. I teach you guys to tithe 10%. And they never raise the offering during service, but they give you free will to give and support their ministry and their organization, because whether we believe it or not, church is a business. Like, people don't want to hear that part of it, but how would the light stay on, if it wasn't a business? So that's just talking about the organization of church. So I just want to say thanks, because I have been enjoying those experiences of trying something different and being a part of a different type of church setting, but still getting the same word. I mean, the last church, they just played movies for the entire month. Every Sunday they chopped up a movie and edited to make it Christian worthy, and took out the profanity and things like that, and used parts of the movie to connect to the word and make it make sense. So it's like outside of the box. So if you open to exploring, I would say explore. And then what I want my children to believe about religion is I always want you guys to trust God. Like, trust God. Don't even trust me as much as you're supposed to trust God. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you. And that's going to either be through death, or I might get me a sugar daddy, and he might tell me it's time to move to Belize or something like that. And y'all of age, I'm probably going to be out, at this point, because just something. But I'm going to leave you. God will never leave you. So it is whether forsake you. Is whether you go in a building or not. Your trust should always be in God. I'm telling you, don't trust me. Don't put your trust in me. Don't put your trust in your daddy. Don't put your trust in these pissy pamper little boys. You know what I'm saying? Trust in God, because God will never leave you or forsake you. He'll always guide you in the right direction. And he is faithful. Like, God is truly, truly faithful. I tell y'all, trust the process. Trust God. That is working your faith and working your faith muscle. One thing I don't want you to do is be a lazy Christian and just say, oh, I trust God, I trust God, I trust God, but you're not working. Like, you still got to work. You still got to put forth the effort to be a good person. You still got to put forth the effort to be successful. Money not going to fall out of the sky. You got to do the work to get it. You got to go to school. You got to get jobs, or, be creative. So those are the things that I would want you guys to know. As you continue this journey, your journey with Christ, I also want you to understand that God is a forgiving God. So I remember running into a little circumstance with you where you didn't want to move forward with getting baptized because you felt like you weren't perfect enough. And I hope you're over that. And if you're not, I hope you are working your way at getting over that, because God is the perfect God. We're not perfect. We're not going to ever be perfect, but he's going to always be forgiven. His forgiveness is to infinity and beyond. It's sufficient, and it's going to always be around. So that hurt me to see you take that so serious about not wanting to be baptized, because being afraid of what you're going to do after you get baptized. It wasn't about that. We're going to always do something. I'm 43 years old, and I disappoint God on a regular basis. The thing is not to be intentional about disappointing God, not to make it a habit, like I'm just gonna wake up and be defiant because I know God gonna forgive me. Now that's where you mess yourself up at, right? See, I got it. I'm God. I'm getting right. You know what I'm saying? It didn't come out.
He's still working.
On me. But that's where you mess up at, when you do it on purpose. When you say, "Oh, I got time." As young as you are, you don't have time. We don't know when your last day will be. And then the last thing for me, I'd like to give a shout out to God. Thank you to my God. I say thank you to my man. Thank you to my God, because the last time we filmed, friend did not have a job, and this time we filming, I got a wait.
She has a job.
A whole job, boo, bad like I never left, honey. And it's so funny because I wrote on the prayer wall on a certain date in September, that I needed God to give me a job. I wanted a job by the end of that month. I wanted an offer, and I wanted the money that I wanted. And on 9/21, I got the offer, and I got the money that I wanted, and he brought it back like I never left. So I just want, just be faithful. And I think you saw me through this process of being unemployed. I hope you saw my faith more than my fear. I hope you did.
Yeah, I'll never forget this era in our lives.
How did it make you feel?
I was like low-key scared because, when you hear no job, you hear no money. You hear no money, you hear none of this. Like, I don't know. And also, it wasn't the definitive process of when you were going to get your job. So I was a little scared. But you didn't really seem scared, so it made me less scared. So, yeah. And also, I was praying also for you to get a job, like, on my own time. And look what happened. So.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I like that you saw that and that I did not present fear to you. I'm really glad of that because that was the last thing I wanted to do was to show you fear. But I'll tell you, just being transparent, a lot of days I cried in that room. And without you guys, but I just felt like, now you do see me cry at church because I just think you just take it there and you just leave it at the altar, right? Like, what I'm going to do about it? But I'm going to still, like, enjoy my life. I still try to give you guys what I could give you within means so that you could continue your life, like, not just blow money because you never know when other money is going to come in. But I think I'm comfortable in that. If you didn't see fear or too much fear, I'll take it. But that's trusting God. This moment that we just dealt with for these months is the ultimate definition of trusting God. If you never take nothing else away from me, if I never show you nothing else in life, that is what trusting God means. People thought I was going to pack up. I had to move back. Everything was hitting me at one time. When you trust God, you look weird. You look crazy. It don't look like it's going to pan out to other people. You didn't even see when I would get a job, but I know what I asked God for. And I know that God is faithful. I have a track record with him that proves that he is hands down faithful. So that's my tidbit. And as we wrap up this segment on religion, do you have any final words or parting words for the people?
I do have some final words.
Give it to him, Pastor Kate.
I know you just had your reflection, but my reflection about what you were talking about is that era of our lives, because not only like did it affect you, it affected me, but I feel like it just taught me like to not take stuff for granted, because when she had a job, like obviously when steady money is coming in, you can buy stuff, you can eat out whenever, all this stuff, which we really didn't like lose too much of anything, but it was definitely, we were doing stuff less than how we used to do things. And, like, it just taught me that nothing's promised and to be grateful for what you have. Yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate you stop asking me for them cash out requests when I ain't had no job. Thank you, friend. It meant a lot. It meant a lot. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on the 7th of...
Also, I want to say, please try diverse churches. It's honestly changed my life. Like, I love this new church we go to. Like, it's great.
Friend went to church on a what night?
Well, it was still a Sunday, but I went after church.
She went after church. We got out of church. She said we got to be back at church at 6 p.m. for our,
I really
what
love
was
this
it for
church.
the team?
It was a life group. It's called life groups.
Life groups for the team. They have very good
teen
program at this church. They really do.
If we didn't branch out, I would have never experienced this, like, such a great teen program. Because usually churches have stuff for younger kids, but this is really, like, pushed for high school students. Like, I really love that about this new church. And I like how diverse it is. Like, I was honestly scared that it was going to be all, but it's not. Go. I see, like, everything.
Everything.
Like,
everything.
And I like it.
Honey.
It's more realistic. It's more like, this is what you're going to see in the real world anyway. So it's like,
it's what you're going to see in heaven. It's not the real world. It's what you're going to see in heaven.
Oh, in heaven, there's not real bodies.
Well, it's diverse. See, this is what we differ at. Yeah, it's diverse. The heaven is a whole choir of all the unique individuals across the world. Like I told you earlier when we started out, now I might not be, I want to be in the room, but just in case I ain't, just tell me how it go in there. Because I think, just tell me how it go. But I want to be in there. I want you to be one of them people. When I leave, you be like, I'm gonna meet my mother. We don't know about them songs, honey, but you gonna meet your mama up there and stuff like that. But why y'all? Ooh, we depriving y'all, baby.
Hopefully, I make it. Hopefully, Hopefully, people around me make it.
We gonna make it, girl. I
feel like that's the goal of being a Christian. You want to fill heaven up. You need to start telling your friends, telling everybody.
It's the after party, right? That's the life after party.
Yeah, that's the life. That's the life after party, baby. Forget these little homecoming after parties where you might get shots. You need to be going to heaven where He might bless you.
Ooh, preach, Pastor Kate. And we can cut. I mean, catch us on the 7th of next month, baby, because Pastor Kate done said the word, laid the benediction. But, baby, I go to a diverse church now, so we don't do offering. So I'll run you your money in the other box, baby. All right, little girl. Pastor Kate always make you